Stocks may be rising today. However, investors on Main Street are becoming more reluctant to buy. Suzanne O'Halloran talked about this trend with the CEO of Ameritrade. And Suzanne, trading volume for the firm fell last month.
It did, Mark. And Main Street investors definitely do not have amnesia about the financial crisis. And today, Ameritrade CEO said trading volume was down 22%, ditto for E-Trade over the entire year. Now, this morning, I did talk with Ameritrade CEO Fred Tomczyk at the Sandler O'Neill Financial Services Conference. A lot of CEOs there, and he told me investors have become very nervous in just the past 2 weeks.
Compared to a month ago, I think investors were fairly bullish, and certainly that has turned in the last month, and I think sentiment in the market right now is a lot more cautious. People are worried about a double dip here, and so a lot of the longer-term investors, the less active investors, have definitely pulled in here a bit and started to flow their monies out of equity funds and into bond funds.
And Mark, what he's not certain about is whether the shift into bonds is a short-term event or the start of what could be a bearish tone for stocks over the next couple of months. And Ameritrade shares are really struggling today in what is a rising market. Mark?
Suzanne, FDIC Chair Sheila Bair, as we just saw, sounded off on the banking industry today during an appearance here in New York. Any reaction from the CEOs at the conference to her remarks?
Yeah, well, they definitely were taking them in. And while they realize more could be done on the regulation front, they really wish regulators, including those at the FDIC, would focus on revamping and lifting up the economy as opposed to the opposite. And I did ask Ameritrade CEO if more could be done. Let's listen to his response.
It is part of their job to help stimulate the economy, and they could do a number of things to help that, whether it's around the deficit or stimulus or the regulatory environment. And I think, if you're in the banking industry today, and unfortunately we're not, but if you look at what's going on in the banking industry today, a heavy amount of regulation, a lot of uncertainty, changing capital rules, liquidity rules. That uncertainty is not good for the economy and not good for the banks.
So, Mark, there is a wish for more of a balance on regulation versus ganging up on the banks and other financial services companies. And if that continues, the economy may have a hard time achieving a full recovery.